What happens when you take the world's most stressful social event, a wedding, and combine it with international espionage? Today we're exploring a film that dares to answer that question in the most unexpected ways.
The concept alone makes me wonder how no one thought of this combination before. A maid of honor who's secretly a spy trying to balance both worlds.
You know what's particularly fascinating about this genre mashup? The director, Simon West, previously helmed Con Air, which tells us they were serious about making the action sequences work, alongside the wedding comedy elements.
That's quite the shift in directorial focus. From Nicolas Cage in a prison plane to Rebel Wilson in a bridesmaid's dress.
Speaking of Rebel Wilson, her casting represents this interesting evolution in action comedy. She's known for her impeccable comedy timing, but here they're pushing her into new territory as an action hero, even with a stunt double involved.
The physical demands must have been intense. How do you maintain comic timing while also selling yourself as a credible secret agent?
Well, what really stands out is how they've structured this narrative around two competing pressures. On one side, you've got these high-stakes spy missions, and on the other, the equally high-stakes world of wedding planning. And both are treated with equal dramatic weight.
The way they've woven these elements together reminds me of those classic 90s action comedies that weren't afraid to be a bit ridiculous for the sake of entertainment.
Let's talk about the settings for a moment. They've gone from a hen's night in Paris to a private island wedding in Savannah, Georgia. It's like they're deliberately creating this heightened reality where anything could happen.
Those locations definitely scream movie magic. Though I have to wonder about the logistics of planning a wedding while simultaneously tracking international criminals.
You know what's really clever about this setup? They're using the wedding setting to raise the stakes of the action. It's not just about stopping bad guys. It's about stopping them without ruining your best friend's special day.
That personal element definitely adds more emotional weight to the standard spy movie tropes we're used to seeing.
And let's consider how they're handling the secret identity aspect. Unlike traditional spy movies where the protagonist has to hide their true nature from everyone, here it's specifically about maintaining a facade for your closest friends during one of life's most important moments.
The emotional stakes there are so much higher than your typical spy thriller. These are relationships that go back years.
What's particularly interesting is how they're playing with gender dynamics in action movies. They've flipped the script by making the men either eye candy or villains, while the women drive the actual story.
That kind of role reversal could be refreshing if handled well, though it sounds like they might be leaning into some pretty broad stereotypes.
The standout performance apparently comes from Davine Joy Randolph as Lydia. They describe her character as recalcitrant and larger than life, which seems to add another layer of complexity to what could have been a very straightforward comedy.
So what you're saying is that beneath all the action and comedy, there's actually a story about friendship and loyalty?
Exactly, though they're careful not to let it get too heavy. The review mentions that it's very much popcorn fantasy. They know exactly what kind of movie they're making and don't try to be anything else.
That kind of self-awareness can be really refreshing when it's done right.
Looking at the bigger picture, this film seems to represent this growing trend of genre hybridization in Hollywood. We're seeing more of these unexpected combinations as filmmakers try to find new ways to tell stories.
The challenge must be in maintaining the right balance. Too much action could overwhelm the wedding story. Too much wedding drama could make the action feel out of place.
And that's really the key takeaway here. While it might not be perfect, with its 5.5 out of 10 rating, it's trying something different. It's pushing boundaries in terms of what these genres can do when combined.
Well, at the very least, it's given us a whole new perspective on what "till death do us part" might mean.
You've been listening to Movies First.
Available at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or your favourite podcast player. You can also stream on demand at Bytes.com.
This has been another quality podcast production from Bytes.com.